How do you like those element drinks?
Love them.
Yeah.
I love them.
I've heard that they made like a lemonade one that's pretty
Yeah, we
solid.
have them all.
I got to try one of those.
I should have brought you one.
I had that.
Fantastic.
I liked that. The only one I've tried is the green like citrus one, the sparkling one.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Salty, but tasty.
Yeah. And they say if it's salty, that means you're dehydrated.
If it tastes salty?
If it tastes salty.
Really?
If it tastes sweet, it means you're hydrated. It's crazy, and it's actually true. It's fucking weird.
Wild. How many of those are you putting down a day, you think?
Probably 2 of these because they're the smaller cans, but I would generally, you have to think I'm in the heat all day long. I wouldn't recommend these for anybody that doesn't do what I do or that doesn't work out the way that, we are, but I sweat constantly. So
kind of makes sense. I like, I started taking that Relight stuff probably a year ago. And then I got a roommate in June that really likes the like BPN's electrolytes, and they taste good, but there's so many different like people that are using like non-sugar sweeteners and all that stuff. And I never know which one's like is the best, I
know. Yeah. And it's funny because this is a Bozeman company.
I had no idea until just recently.
So they just showed up to Black Orchid in Bozeman like last summer, I want to say, in their big old van, whatever. And they came in and gave us a bunch of samples. When I first tried it, I was like, that's fucking gross.
Were you doing the packets or the cans?
No, they gave us a couple of the cans. And I was like, that is nasty. And then as the more I kept drinking them, I was like, I actually fucking love these things. Like, I'm hooked. And you know what I realized too? The magnesium and potassium I need so bad.
Really?
Like I need.
How come?
Just because of the amount of like that I sweat. And then I think that at the time I wasn't taking that many vitamins.
Okay.
And those are,
so you have to get it in.
You have to get those in somehow, which actually now I take a whole host of shit, and that has helped my sleep immensely.
I've heard the magnesium is kind of the thing.
It fucking game changer.
Really?
If you have sleeping problems,
never have.
And again, everyone's different. Like I could, everyone's totally different with how their body reacts to certain things. Those for me changed my life.
Really?
Yep. And I've never had a drink that has actually sold, you know what I mean? Like we'll have energy drinks, all sorts of shit. And I've never had a drink that we've sold that has actually like made us money, that you could actually be like, holy shit, we're doing actually pretty well off. Usually with drinks would be like a wash.
For sure.
Just be a convenience thing for people that work out.
Yeah.
Those, I'm like, dude, every 2 weeks I have to order like 12 cases. It's crazy.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, that's insane. I don't know. I think that the electrolytes are one of the things that have become trendy, if you will, in the workout space that I'm actually glad has happened.
Yeah, like you see Salt, the company. Now there's like 4 of them.
Yeah, there's so much random shit that always is like coming in and out. But that's one of the ones where like, regardless of how hard you go, it kind of just makes sense for everybody.
It does.
Which is so
much
much
really
better.
does. And I don't know. As I get into my older age, because I don't drink, I find like weird things that I'm obsessed with. Spindrift being one.
Love Spindrift. Yeah.
Fucking obsessed with Spindrift. And now this. I'm like, dude, it's everything.
Just the go-tos. Are you a big caffeine guy then?
I used to be.
Okay.
I used to drink Bangs like they were gonna, stop making them at midnight. You know what I mean? Like I have. But then I my sleep problems, but I wouldn't sleep, but then I would drink all of these to stay awake, and then I wouldn't sleep, and then I would drink more to like be awake, because it wasn't like in my world, 4 a.m. is when the day starts.
Right.
It doesn't matter if I've slept or not. Doesn't matter. And it was like Christmas, probably, I want to say it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago, well before Bozeman opened. I was dropping the kids off at school, and that Sunday, I remember I had my parents over, and I legit thought I was having a heart attack.
Really?
Like I was feeling shit in my chest. Like, you know what I mean?
Anxious too, or just feeling like the heart thing?
I felt like I could feel something was wrong. You know what I mean? And then of course I get on like, what does it mean if your heart's doing, and they're like, stop everything and go to the doctor. And I'm like, fuck.
But it's Christmas.
And I don't want to tell, this, I think it was probably December 22nd or 21st.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was a Sunday. And then on Monday, it kept doing it through the night. And I remember being terrified going to sleep because I think I'm going to have a fucking heart attack and die.
Whoa.
And of course I didn't want to freak anyone out.
And it's also hard to admit, like, hey, I drank 6 Bangs today, and now I feel like I might be dying.
Well, and I just remember telling my wife, like, something's not right. I just feel like, you know what I mean? I didn't want to freak her out either. That Monday I call her, I dropped the kids off and I'm like, I called her right after. I'm like, hey, I'm going to go check myself into the ER. I think I'm having a heart attack. And so I go down to the ER and and at this point, everyone was, so it must've been like 2021 or 20, because everyone was wearing masks. And I walked into the ER at, I think it was like St. V's or something. And, I kind of walk up to the front desk and I'm like, hey, I think I have a lot of like anxiety and a little bit of chest pain. You know what I mean? Like,
they're like, whoop, whoop.
Fucking lights turn on and there's probably 10 nurses out in the thing and they're like, sit in the chair or the wheelchair. And I'm like, no, I'm good to walk. And they're like, sit down and wheel me back into an ER, take my shirt off. And I swear to God, there's 8-9 people in this room and they're putting shit all over my body and they all look at this machine.
Is this freaking you out at this point?
Oh my God. And I hate hospitals. I hate them. And they're all looking at this machine and they all fucking walk out of the room. I can say fuck right.
Yeah, for sure.
And they all walk out of the room and I'm like, what the hell? And the doctor walks in, they're going, you're actually pretty healthy. Everything looks good. And they're like, you under a lot of stress? And I was like, well, yeah. I mean, but I enjoy my stress. Right. I enjoy my life. I enjoy what I do. Do I sleep good? No. Do I work all the time? Absolutely. You know what I mean? And I have 3 children. So yeah, there's a lot of stress, but I love my stress. Like I'm normal. It's my normal place. Right. It's not. And they're like, it was funny because they're like, you're EKG. And they're like, how much caffeine you drink? I was like, well, 4 a.m. I usually get up and have a Bang energy drink, which is 300 milligrams. And then usually by about 8:30, 9, I'll have another one. And then I'll have another one around like noon. And so I was having 900 milligrams of caffeine within, from 4 to probably 12 or 1.
Just redlining it every day.
And they're like, yeah, you should be like 400 milligrams max. And I'm like, yeah, by 8 a.m., I'm already well past that, 200 milligrams past that. And she's like, have you ever tried yoga? I was like, funny, you should ask that. I was like, I own Black Orchid. And she's like, oh, well, I guess I don't know what to, maybe just cut the caffeine. Yeah, so it was kind of funny, but I had a panic attack. I was having a panic attack.
Whoa.
I had no idea. And I guess that can emulate a heart attack or, and of course then me staring at like, what do they call it? Like the doctor WebMD or whatever.
Yeah.
And me like putting all these things in and every one of them points to you're having a heart attack. And every one of these is like, go to the ER.
You're
like,
panicking.
Drop your phone, go to the ER. And I'm like, shit.
Right.
And so finally, by the time I dropped the kids off at school, I was like, yeah, I got to go do something.
Crazy.
And yeah, but all my EKG was fine. They just said I had a panic attack. And instantly when they told me that, everything went away. Everything.
Like you could like watch your numbers just like,
I didn't even know how to read this machine, but when they all walked out of the room, I was kind of like, what the fuck?
Right.
Just leave me here.
Just give up on me?
I'm having a heart attack clearly. And you guys just leave me. And yeah, when she's like, yeah, everything looks great. Instantly, like it was mental, like instantly all the weirdness went away. And so it was just panic and stress. And it was like self doom and gloom. And it's crazy how much your brain can affect like how your body feels.
So coming off of that, did you start cutting back on caffeine after that?
I did a bunch and it was tough.
Yeah. What was that like?
It sucked. It was awful. I was exhausted, but I started to notice my sleep get a little bit better. Never been a strong sleeper in my life. But yeah, I could definitely tell that it was hard. And I've come off drugs before, like a lot of them.
Yeah.
And that was probably one of the toughest.
No kidding.
Caffeine. Yeah.
Did you go to zero?
Pumping through everyone.
Yeah.
Every gas station. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just legal stuff that you can ruin yourself with. So
did you go from 900 milligrams a day to 0?
I stopped drinking Bang completely.
Okay.
So Bang was what and we were selling it at Black Orchid. So I was like, shit, grab one out of the thing, chug it, grab one out of, it was just simple, easy. So I stopped drinking it, and I moved to Alani,
Health choices.
as if that's like any better. It's all the same bullshit. But no, I would stick to like 1 in the morning. And then from there, it was very sporadic, you know what I mean? Like a coffee.
Yeah.
And so as I've gotten into my 40s, I'm like pure coffee. Like
Yeah.
we got a new espresso machine that is the bomb.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to have you send me a link to that thing.
I will. Magnifica Evo. I mean, it is the best thing. I think I got it for Katie for maybe Mother's Day or something.
Okay.
It was one of those like gifts that you're getting for them, but also taking advantage of yourself. But yeah, it's awesome. And we like are part of this coffee club, Atlas Coffee Club. They send us 3 bags of beans from across the globe every 3 weeks or something.
So you guys will grind them and then do the dang thing with them?
Our machine grinds, does the whole thing, does espresso shots. It is fucking amazing. And so now I'm obsessed with coffee.
See, if I had all of that, I would probably end up in a spot where I'm doing 900 milligrams a day just because I like coffee so much. It'd be a nightmare.
I mean, yeah, we do about like a 3-shot espresso. Like when I wake up, like a 3-shot, like, you know, fucking latte, some weird, you know, pumpkin spice. Love it.
Yep.
And that's kind of where we're at with caffeine. And then I'll have like a little bit of like pump from Bucked Up, which is like a vasodilator with, I mean, it's non-thermogenic, no caffeine. And I feel like that works better as like a pre-workout than actual pre-workout.
Interesting.
As I get older, I feel like those shit just make me like anxious, like stuff that, you know what I mean? Like it just makes me anxious nowadays.
I raw dog the gym every day. I've never done pre-workout or anything like that.
Good.
Because of that feeling though. I just feel like so skitzed out and I just don't like it. But I've never, what do you notice with the vasodilators when you take those?
I can regulate my breathing so much better. I can regulate breathing. Like to be able to teach.
Like your cardio's better almost?
Cardio's better.
Okay.
I can teach the class, take the class in that heat with all the shit going on, and just be fine. And there's, you know, it's not like a huge caffeine, you know what I mean? I feel like I'd burn out real quick doing that workout with like a pre-workout.
And the last thing that you want to is to be mouth breathing on the mic real hard.
Seriously. And I mean, that's part of our training too, is like telling our teachers like, dude, nobody wants to listen to you breathe into the microphone. Some of the worst cycle classes I've taken, the teacher's like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, stop it. Learn how to regulate your breathing. Take a break when you need to take a break. No one's there to watch you work out. That's not part of the deal. You're there to, you know, serve our paying members, but also give them the best workout of their life.
For sure.
So
yeah. First cycle class today was sick, man. I think it's hard to translate from like videos when you're not there to doing it when you're in person doing it.
Yeah.
I was so surprised. First of all, the energy of it was awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The other thing that I was so surprised at is like the amount of trying to figure out keeping your rhythm with like your feet, doing all the movements with your hands. Exactly, man. Yeah, it's a ton.
Yeah, I feel like, and that's why I say like 3 classes. And you get the feet down because before, you know, you do any song, it's always 1, 2, 1, 2, right, left, right, left. There's always a beat to a song. There's always, you know, verses, there's builds, and then there's an actual chorus where we do drills.
Yep.
And the lights come on and it's nuts. Finding the feet, you know, but there's people that go into the class that have 0 rhythm and just try to do as good as they can. And that's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's totally fine. But yeah, the idea is to move together because there's energy. You know what I mean? You feel that.
Yeah.
And today's class was actually relatively quiet.
Okay.
There's classes in Bozeman. I'll say this. There's a Wednesday night class that Georgiana teaches that I've taken probably 2 or 3 times when I've been there. And it's one of those classes that the second the booking window opens on Sunday, it's sold out within minutes. Like within a minute, the class is sold out. It's just one of those classes. And like goosebumps, like will give you goosebumps when she's such a polarizing person.
Yeah.
And she's just so, dude, she's just a figure. I don't know how to explain it. She's just like a force of a person. And I've known that since the second I met her. And she walks into the room and the fucking place goes bananas. Like, really? You know what I mean? Like where today I'm like, hi, and everyone gets wild and does their thing and I'll say shit and people do their, you know, she walks into the room and closes the door and doesn't say a word and everyone loses their shit. It's like, I'm so confused. And of course in my own studio and then the back row is the only bike that I could get. And the people in that class, like, I mean, shirts in the air, towels in the air, like absolute nuts, screaming at the top of their lungs. And then you go into those big drops and it's like goosebumps, shit. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
So like I said, today's class was, relatively quiet one, but you still feel it. Like you still, you know what I mean? Like those people are there for themselves, but dude, they show up for each other. It's awesome. It's cool. It's really cool to see. I mean, that's just like understanding like your culture within your business and really dialing that in. Like, I feel like anymore at Black Orchid as an owner, what we do, like what we sell is not the focus of, you know what I mean? Like not that we can't always grow and be better as teachers and as business owners, as employers, as whatever. It's about like, and I've always said this, our experience starts at the front desk in the parking lot. How do you make people feel when they walk in the door? And that will translate into the classroom. How do they feel when they leave? Did they get great service? You know, because in our industry, and Kate and I have been all over the United States, done classes everywhere. And there's been places I've gone to, and sometimes I feel like a broken record when I say this, but I've felt like people didn't give a shit that I was there. Not that I think that I need any special treatment as a person. Right. I don't. But I've been to places where I felt like if they even wanted my money, you know, like at the bottom line. Yeah. I've never been there. I walk in and they're like, last name, you know, just another move them through the chute type of deal. Yeah. And I'm like, well, why would you like it is hard. And we don't get that because we're in this world every single day, but to walk through the doors as just a general person through a gym, a niche fitness studio, anywhere, it's hard for a first timer to walk in there. I don't care what fitness level you're at, what body type you have, what your age is. It's tough. Even for me, going into a new place or even going to a place I've been a bunch of, like we go to this place called Grit Cycle in Newport Beach every time we're there. And it's still daunting sometimes to walk. And I do this for a living. Right. And sometimes it's still daunting to walk through the doors and, you know, feel like welcome. And that's a place there that I've never felt uncomfortable. I've always felt like they were so nice and welcoming. And every time I go there, I go back and spend my money there because I feel like I'm always going to get that experience. Yeah. And that's what I want people to feel, even if they don't like the class, you know what I mean? But they're always going to feel welcome.
Hey guys, just a brief pause in the show to ask one quick favor. A lot of you guys who listen, even the day ones who listen every week, have yet to rate this show on their favorite platform. And so that's the one thing that I'm going to ask you guys. It really helps us grow the show. It helps us get awesome guests on the show. And if you could give us a 5-star rating on your favorite platform that you're listening on right now, it would probably take 10 seconds, but it would mean the world to me. And it'll really help us continue to make an awesome show for you guys. So if you don't mind, that's the only ask. We're not running any ads right now. We're not asking anything of you guys. We just want to be putting out a great show. So if you could go do that, that'd be awesome. And until then, let's get back to the show. Well, and you're also selling, like what you're saying about not selling, particularly like the instruction or the class itself, the nature of what you're selling is something that becomes a part of people's daily routines. Sure. And so you're kind of selling like an hour and a half of every day of their life. What are they putting into their life? And how, like you become an actual part of their life all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's true. And that like that the first, you know, front row and part of the second row, you'll see those girls next week, the week after, the week after that, the week after that, same bikes, same place. Every single, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's not just Thursday. That's every day that there's a 10-15 class. Yeah. Like the first two rows are people that are there every single day. Every day. It's crazy. That's cool. Man. And even I sit and I go, God, don't you guys get sick of this shit? Of course, again, I'm in this world. I train all these people. You know, it's what we've created. And so you know, and that's like the big, you know, as like a teacher of doing what we do, it's called imposter syndrome. Cause there'll be times where I'll like I'll get on my cameras and I'll show you this. It's pretty funny. So I actually have a thing on my phone. You see that? Yeah. Yeah. Fuck the cameras because they go off constantly. So I'll get on my phone and I'll look at this and I'll look at like some of the classes. I'll just like peek in and like, for instance, we'll say Bozeman's Cycle Studio, and I'll be watching, And I watch these people do these dips and all, you know what I mean? Like you'll see like
just going ham.
And I'm like, it's so fucking stupid.
When there's no music and you're not there for it.
Even when you're just sitting at home in your bed and you're like watching these, I'm like, God, but all of these people in the class are like, they're so into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're dialed in 110%. They're sold. And the guy who, you know, Kate and myself, I'll sit there and like watch it. And I'm like, oh, we do so fucking dumb. But it's not, because then you get in there and you see what you can do to people. Yeah. You see that you can transform people's confidence from, you know, this quiet little into this wild fucking person that is like that is welcomed. It's almost expected.
Mm-hmm. They're just going ham.
They just go nuts, and then people see it and they're like, "This is fucking awesome."
Yeah,
like I want to feel like that. I want to feel like I'm singing in the shower or like singing in my car, and I want people to be able to work out like that and feel like, no matter how crazy they get or how loud they are, that it's welcome. How much they sweat, I don't give a shit. Like that's what we do. And then there's never been a time where someone's taken a class, yoga class, shape class, cycle class, that they've left and been like, God, I wish I didn't do that.
For sure.
Not one time have I heard that ever. Not one time have I ever taken a class and left and been like, man, I really fucking wish I didn't do that.
Right.
Never. And I'm sure that goes to, you know, every workout. You've never walked out of a gym and been like, God, I wish I just stayed home.
For sure.
You know, no, you never feel that way because you always feel accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, you know, you can go on to your day and then you realize like the things you were pissed off about before the class really it's not that big of a deal. It's a mind, the shift of mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can read a text message and be like, that dick. And I'm going to wait and I'm going to respond when I'm done with class.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, I'm the dick. I was actually,
wait a minute.
Maybe I was off base a little bit. Like, you know, and then you can, that's just perspective.
It's a good filter.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just wait.
Yeah.
Give it time, give it an hour, you know, because if it like I'm an impulsive dude, I can fire back with some real, you know.
And you got some good shit waiting for him most of the time.
Oh yeah. I got some witty shit because I'm a witty dude. Like I'm not. I just need some perspective. I need a little time, let things filter, let the dust settle, and then respond.
Yeah.
You know, to anything in life.
That gets me all the time because we were talking before we got on mic about how awesome it is that like you guys have class structures where you can kind of go anytime during the day and have options for what you're going to do. Training boxing and jiu-jitsu, that's one of the issues actually with that is like it's all in the evenings.
Yeah.
And so I like to work out in the mornings, which is great because I can kind of do 2-a-days and it's spaced out well. Yeah. But there are times where I'm in that same spot where I'm like, oh man, tonight I should just like, I'm going to work until like 9 p.m. I'm going to get on my computer. I'm going to get a bunch of shit done when I get home. And I'm like in that grind mode thing. Yeah. And I'll go and box for an hour and I leave there and I'm like, for what, bro? Nobody's up at 9:30 p.m. waiting for me to send me an email. Like they're not going to respond to this shit either.
Yeah.
Do it at 7 tomorrow morning. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah.
And like, that's the thing that gets me all the time is like it brings me back to real life a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, this is the reason that we're doing shit is like to do stuff with our community, move our bodies a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about all the extra shit.
No. And you can eat yourself alive with, you know, stupid shit.
For
you
sure.
really can. I do it every day.
Yeah.
And then you just get a little perspective and it's like, it's not, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, like my problems are quality problems. Mm-hmm. I've had real problems before and PV and, you know, 18 years ago would have loved to have the stress and shit that I deal with today.
Right.
And I'm grateful for that always. I really am. And I have to remind myself like, but you know, problems are problems, stress is stress. And you just have to be able to deal with it the proper way.
For sure.
And so I have to go get my ass kicked and then figure out how to navigate, you know, because not only that, you take on the stress of your kids, you take on the stress of your, you know, your employees, you take on the stress of everybody. But if you've gotten your ass kicked, like in a workout, I feel like it's always perspective. It's just a perspective shift. That's it.
I agree. One of the edges that you guys have at Black Orchid that I didn't realize until a couple years ago when we did a different podcast was that the feel and the performance and just like the vibe of all of it is originated from something that wasn't hot yoga or wasn't cycle or wasn't any of that kind of stuff. For the people who don't know, tell me a little bit about your background and kind of how you got there to make sense of the fact of how you can put on such good performances and have such a good vibe in there. Cause I think it's super cool.
Yeah. So I was a songwriter and I was in a band called A Million Pieces. I've been a performer my whole life. That's all I've really known, to be honest with you. I didn't go to college. I didn't graduate high school. Just wanted to play music.
Didn't know that about high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What year did you drop out?
I was supposed to graduate. Well, I was supposed to graduate in 2001.
Okay.
And the last half of my senior year, I found it tough to make it back to school after lunch.
Okay.
And I think I racked up probably 30 something days. I want to say it was my senior year in the last 3 classes of the day, or 3 or 4.
Okay.
And I actually had a really good GPA. Like I was actually a really good student. Mm-hmm. I just hated going to school.
You did good when you wanted to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I got into some, I guess my wife and I were dating when I was 16 and 17 and 18.
Wow.
And I'd gotten arrested at school a couple of times for drinking and doing drugs. And I told her cheerleader coach to go fuck herself, apparently at some dance. I don't even remember. And I got arrested.
Okay.
So like all of and I knew I wasn't going to go to college. I hated school. I hated going. I hated authority. I just, and I actually liked school because it was a social thing. Fast forward, whatever. And I guess, it's so funny because I really don't even like the music thing was cool. And I did a lot. I toured all over the place. We had songs on the radio. Like it was awesome, but I felt like it wasn't fulfilling for some reason.
Interesting.
My mindset was to be the biggest rock star on the planet, right?
Okay.
Like we wanted to be like the Killers, Kings of Leon, Foo Fighters. Like that was our, but the more and more you stay, and we were in the music industry in a very weird time where the world of the big record deal it didn't exist. Like you could get signed by a label, but they started calling it the 360 deal, meaning they would fund your albums, they would fund your tours, but they weren't really funding your albums. They were fronting you the money for your album. They were fronting you the money for your tour. They were fronting you the money for your merch. They were fronting you the money to put your songs on radio. They were fronting you the money to do really anything. So it was a glorified loan. So if you don't understand about like record labels are glorified musical banks, right? They will front you the money, but they fully they will get their money. Mm-hmm. They will. And so we're on these tours and we're doing, we're playing like a sold out Bluebird Theater in Denver. We're doing really huge shows at like all the, oh God, what the hell? Like more or less 500 to probably 2,000 people theaters.
And that feels like a packed room.
It is.
That's a great audience.
We did really well in like Las Vegas. We did really well in Denver. We did pretty good in Los Angeles. And some of the smaller, I guess, market like Boise, stuff like that, where our stuff would spin. Mm-hmm. House of Blues primarily was where we were, like when we went on our headlining tour. House of Blues was a big theater that we were playing at. And you would think, your manager and your tour manager and your attorneys would all work out the best deal for you. And they're like, okay, $5,500 a show, which you think, if you're playing like on one particular tour could be 20 to 60 shows.
Right.
Do the math. That's pretty good.
Cash. Yeah.
Right. Okay. But then you have to now split it with 4 band members, mm-hmm. right? You have to give 10% to your attorney, 10% to the tour manager, 10% to the band manager. And once all of the fees for having the bus every day, travel, food, everything, when we got back to meet with our accountant, it was like the most heart-wrenching fucking thing. Cause I'm sitting here going, we're good. Like I just,
And tour is a grind too. It's not like you're coming off of like 60 shows being like, oh, that was fun and blah, blah, blah. Shit beats you down.
It can be, but also I was, in some of these tours, like I'll say in this final one, because it was probably our most successful one. I was sober. I was a year and a half, 2 years sober, right? Okay. Me and Morgan, who now runs Emo Night LA, which is a huge production, and they tour all across still. He and I were sober.
Okay.
The other two were not. And so now you're having these weirdnesses between band members, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we make it off of this tour, you get back and you meet with the accountant, and I'm thinking I'm making X money, right?
Yep.
Then they start going through your ledger, and they start going, well, the bus was this much. Travel is this much. 10% here, 10% tax. How much do you think we were making per person per show? Like, take a guess.
After everything?
After everything.
5,500. I'd say $400 a show.
Yeah, like it was like $350. That's fucking. That you can't even take care of yourself. Living in Los Angeles at $350. You know what I mean? A day.
Yeah, that's
you can't even make that in Billings right now.
Right.
Like, yeah. And so that it was super discouraging. And after I always felt it was like, okay, you know, we sold out, you know, a shithole like the Viper Room, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That would make me feel better. And this was, again, I'm a year sober, so I'm still like navigating that world,
right?
Trying to think that I'm going to be happy with stuff, things, money, not understanding that none of that shit's going to make me happy. Sell that out. Awesome. Was not that happy. Had a song on the radio and they were doing very well, like in different markets, many different markets. It didn't make me feel that good. You know what I mean? Like I thought that I would make it. The big problem was after all of that, you just never know. There's no consistency because you never know if your label is going to be like, all right, we're going to fund another one. We're going to go on this tour. You're going to hop over here. You're going to do this. We have, you know, your song going on 2 movies and a couple commercials. There's so many different avenues where you can make revenue.
Yeah.
You just never know. And by this time I'm fucking 29, 30.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like dinosaur in the music industry. Like dinosaur. Like you have these 18, 19-year-olds that are so talented that would wipe our ass off the stage, that have more energy. They don't have all the interband drama bullshit going on because then you're talking about each one of like us all having separate attorneys at this point. So now we're all fighting with each other over royalties. And we get to a point where I fired everyone after we got off a tour. I rehired 3 new band members, and these 3 people I'm still very close with. Mm-hmm. One of them was Graham Fenton. He was a singer for, it was on Vegas, the Four Seasons, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
Okay.
So he sang all of they're like the East Coast Beach Boys, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so Graham Fenton was basically playing Frankie Valli on the Broadway show Jersey Boys, which was like one of the longest running hits, Grammy Award winning. I mean, one of the most talented fucking people I've ever known in my life. And I hired him, and I hired a drummer out of Colorado Springs, and a bass player that I had actually met on a tour before with the old A Million Pieces. Okay. And so I had met him. He was just touring with this one kid named Jezere, who was, you watch hockey? Oh, anyway, he was one of like the GM of like the LA Kings' son.
That's cool.
Anyway, so we went out and did a whole new EP. I mean, for this EP, we flew to Dallas, Texas, and then it was mastered in like Nashville. And the way that all this shit was going down was crazy. It was all over the place.
Some rockstar shit going on.
Dude, put it together and it was awesome. And our song Take It or Leave It was on the radio. And it was funny because at that point, Kate and I had started dating again.
Okay, so you guys date 16 to 18.
16 days. She breaks up with me because I was a dickbag, basically, right?
Okay. Fair. And then 10 years later.
Yeah, 10 years later.
29.
I was in Las Vegas. We were doing rehearsals for a show we were doing at the Hard Rock Casino. And she had posted on, I think it was Facebook, Life of a Bachelorette, right?
Okay.
And I was like, because she was married. Like she'd gotten married, and her and I, for some reason, had kept in contact for the whole time.
Okay.
So strange. I didn't keep in contact with anybody, but for some reason I always had this crazy draw to her.
Yeah.
Every chick that I came in contact with, I was always, you know, like when you have your first like love, right?
Yeah.
You would always rate them to this person.
Yeah, they're the standard.
They're the standard.
Yeah.
And Katie didn't take my shit like Minnie would.
Yeah.
She never did. And I had always some like crazy respect for her, but we always kept in contact through all this time. It didn't matter where I was, so fucked up on drugs, whatever I was doing, like she was always like willing to take my call or like to talk with me. It was just the weirdest relationship ever.
Yeah, it's cool though, man. It's huge.
Yeah. And so finally she posts this, and I probably hadn't talked to her in maybe like 2 years or something. And it's funny when you have her on, she can tell you this story too. I messaged her on Instagram and I was like, I can't remember. I think I said something like, I haven't talked to you in a dino's age. Like I was being a total smart ass. Uh-huh. And I told her, or I asked her, well, we just started talking on the phone for like hours during the day and texting constantly. And then all of a sudden, I think it was probably like 3 or 4 days later, I was like, hey, if I drive up to Billings, can I take you out to dinner? Just, I shot my shot. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And you were coming off of a Vegas
Well, I was in Vegas. We were back in Los Angeles at the time. And I told her I would drive up to Billings to take her out to dinner.
Okay.
And that's another thing that I'll tell people, or people in relationships, because I always have these like any girl or whatever. I work with fucking nothing but girls, right? Women. They're having like relationship issues and they're like, oh, I don't think that he's not like, I think he likes me. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, if a guy wants something, he will go out of his way to do it.
It's a 24-hour drive from Cali.
Want something bad enough, and maybe I'm different. I don't think I'm that much different, but like if I was willing to drive, and I think it was 20 plus hours to take her to fucking dinner one night.
Yeah.
To just see what happens. And I did. 3-day trip turned into a 10-day trip. And the rest is history.
Wow.
And so we dated. I lived in Los Angeles. She lived in Billings for, I think, the first however long of our relationship. And it was crazy.
That's so cool, man.
Okay. So fast forward. Her and I are now in a long distance relationship, and obviously she's what I want.
Yeah.
I didn't care about the music. I didn't care about that. What made me happy was having someone. It wasn't about the music. Music makes me happy. And I always said that all the bullshit, the 45 minutes to an hour and a half on stage did make it worth, because I love performing.
Yeah.
I really love doing that. That's what I do. But it just got to the point where, again, I'm 30. I think I was probably 3 or 4 years sober at this time now. And I just wanted her.
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck about the music. I didn't give a shit. I didn't know what was going to happen. It was all, you know what I mean? Like you're with a whole new group of people. And at the height of where we were, songs on the radio doing really well. We're doing all of these great shows. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to do it anymore.
Huh.
And they're like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Because like objectively, all of the things are working out that are supposed to be exciting.
They were supposed to make me happy.
Yeah.
But they weren't. And I'm not going to sit in misery. And I knew if I did that, I'm heading to relapse.
Yeah.
And I know I can fight through all that with, you know, the meetings and sponsees, like the whole deal. Like you can, but at the end of the day, you have to make a choice. And just one day I woke up and I'm like, I'm done.
Like, really? It was like that, just switch?
Just like that.
Wow.
I was like, I'm done. I want to be with her. You know what I mean? Like I don't care. Like none of this stuff. I mean, love all of those guys, love them to death. They're still my brothers for life. Mm-hmm. And they're all doing great things now. You know what I mean? Like I was just over. I was done. I didn't care. It didn't make me happy. And plus, you know, you got labels trying to mix your songs up and fuck with your songwriting and make you be something that you're not. And the producers are taking our songs and reworking them all. And I'm like, I just don't, you know, and the type of music I want to play is not going to make a dime. It's not.
Yeah.
I want to do like 30-minute guitar solos. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And that shit ain't going to sell.
In it for the art.
It's not. And it's not going to, you know, it's not. I wanted a family. I wanted like the whole deal. And so, you know, then we moved to Billings and we're together. And her and I had been doing hot yoga for a while. She was doing hot yoga everywhere. And we started going to a couple places in Billings. And I was like, man, I think there's just something better. And her and I were like, fuck it, let's open something.
Damn.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, so one of the things that I find fascinating is, I was actually having this conversation with Drew McManus the other day, who's still a musician, and I'm fascinated with this.
Hey, Drew goes to Black Orchid quite a bit.
He's the man. I love Drew.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's the fucking man.
He's such a cool dude.
But I struggle at times to believe that the artistic thing, this podcast, for example, right?
Sure.
Making $0, one of my favorite things. Like, this thing fills my cup more than probably 99% of the things in my life.
Yep.
Because doing what we're doing right now is like, I could not think of a better way to spend an hour and a half.
No, yeah.
It's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
What I find so impressive about musicians that I just now realized is that you go from playing a guitar or whatever your instrument is, or singing or doing some kind of small performance, and having absolutely no guarantee that any of that shit is going to work out, and just go, I don't care. This is the thing that I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I'm called to this. I'm just going to do it.
Yep.
And so how does Peter, who's 16, 17, 18, dropping out of the end of high school and doing all that kind of stuff, what was it in you that just had that thing where you're like, fuck it, I'm just going to do this thing? Because I would imagine that might be the same thing that was like, hey, there's no yoga studio here. We're just going to do it. Like,
yeah.
I just like this.
Well, at 16, it was just playing the guitar, like with my friends. I was in shitty bands upon shitty bands, garage bands. Just made me happy. I just love doing it. I love being loud. I think that an ADHD person who can hone in on a craft like that and then start to realize that you're actually pretty fucking good at it. That's when, and they talk about people with ADHD are like superhuman.
Yeah.
If they can dial it in.
Yeah.
If they cannot, could be a nightmare. Like, it could be an absolute nightmare. But if you find one thing, like you have a superpower, and ADHD is the superpower, because I think people, it's like the stigma around it is so bad. They're like, medicate them and send them to school.
Right.
And I remember being a lab rat for Ritalin when I was like 6 years old. But that was all anybody knew at the time, was to fucking medicate these kids, send them back to school so they can focus. But really, they're actually very, very bright kids. Very bright kids. Yeah. And my son, Ari, 10, is very ADHD. He's like a spitting image of me, and it's amazing and fucking terrifying. Terrifying at the same time. Like, absolutely terrifying. But I'm watching this kid on the drums. He's a prodigy fucking drummer. Really? He's been in drum lessons with Jason at Hanson Music for 3 years now. And Jason, bless your fucking heart if you listen to this, because I mean, what he's got this kid doing, like, on the drums, it like blows my mind. And to have someone with a brain like that, and you see all the shit that we have to do when we're teaching classes, and you could tell somebody with ADHD created that place, right? Because you got to teach this class, you got to ride this class, you got to work the music, you have to make sure the lights are perfect. Yep. They have to be turned off right at the, and it has to be big and magnificent and fantastic.
All synced up to music.
All synced up to music. Yeah. Everything. Yeah. Oh, the lights, and that's another thing that will go into, how I stopped playing music, and then all of a sudden Black Orchid's created, and that's what we do. Yeah. Is perform. You're a fucking entertainer. Yeah. You are in the fitness realm. And it's super cool for our teachers, and it's a super huge draw for people wanting to teach at Black Orchid. Like, it really is. Yeah. Because I think people look at the teachers on stage like, damn, like, that's crazy that you're actually like working this, like, all this equipment. We have giant mixers, and our speakers could run a fucking show at a nightclub for sure. Like our sound system. But yeah, him, with Ari, I see that in him too. And I'm like, God, he got all the, I don't want to say worst, but maybe best. Some days it's the best parts of me. Some days it's the worst parts of me. But what he can do on the drums, like, I'm telling you, it would blow your fucking mind.
Do you guys get to play together?
A little bit, yeah. Okay. But when you like, I'll go watch him on, because he's there every single Saturday with Jason. I mean, this guy can like close his eyes and be reading sheet music, out of one eye, and Jason will tell him, switch your lead, and he'll move to a different lead and start doing the same thing. And I'm like, it doesn't even compute. That doesn't, to me. Like, I can read sheet music with piano, and I did piano my whole life. Guitar sheet music, simple. Drum sheet is a little bit different. And for him to be able to, as a 10-year-old, do the shit he's doing it's incredible.
Yeah.
Like it's really incredible. And it's super cool to see your child get something that you love so much and, you know, be able to work it into, because his brain just understands shit.
Right.
He's brilliant at math. Brain just understands it. You know what I mean?
How cool is that for him to be able to have a dad and like a support system too that understands that you just need to find those sweet spots.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Instead of trying to be like, dude, you have to be good at everything. You're failing at English. No, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Let's do drums and math, or let's do whatever those pockets are and just put the eggs into those baskets.
Yeah. And you don't want to push them to do something they don't want to do, especially someone with ADHD. They're going to do what they want to do.
Right.
They're going to be a little wacky, and they are, but you have to just embrace it. Mm-hmm. It's like kids with autism. Like, they can be brilliant at things, like uber brilliant. You know what I mean? I think Elon Musk has autism. Yeah. And the guy's fucking brilliant.
Right.
Wacky in other
for sure
realms. Sure. But I mean, at the end of the day, to create what he's created, you have to be like, dude, that's brilliance. But then there is the dark side of all of it too, which we all have. Like, mine was drug addiction. And, you know, of course I'm going to try to slip off and not be in my own shoes for a little bit, 'cause it's uncomfortable. But, and then, you know, you switch it into like something like, you know, as a performer, what we do in a cycle class, you're performing, you know what I mean? It's just in fitness.
Right.
And even now I feel like I'm old in this world now again, you know what I mean? Where all these younger people are coming up, all these younger teachers that got more energy and fire. And I talk about this imposter syndrome where, you know, I'll watch it from like a 10,000 foot view, and I'm like, the fuck are we doing? It's so crazy. You know, I mean, it's not, but it's just a different take to add. If you put a band on that stage, same thing.
It all checks out. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But no, it's bikes and teachers and crazy fucking people that want to work out.
Right. So do you think that you were hardwired in a way where, like, whether it's through the ADHD thing or some kind of just predestiny thing, do you think that you were hardwired to have whatever that switch is where you're just like, no, I'm just going to do the thing that I want to do? Or is that like a conscious decision that you had to make where it was, I'm going to do this music thing and I'm going to open this yoga studio? Because from the outside, a lot of times it looks to me like there are people who they just kind of start doing the thing. They don't sit around and go, oh, well, let's write this out in a spreadsheet and let's do this and that. They just kind of follow their intuition and it works out.
Yes. With someone like my wife, it's very easy because she's one of the smartest people I've ever known in my life. She knows, you know, when I'm a professional trust fall person.
Okay.
That makes sense.
The faller, not the catcher.
I'll open my arms and fall back and just hope to God that she's the one who will rein things in. Okay. She's the boss. No two ways around it. Mm-hmm. She's the boss at Black Orchid. I don't even know what I am. I'm a visionary, and with her, it's either because if she didn't have her hand on the back of my neck, I would be, you know, but within reason and understanding the compromise, not only of our relationship, but our business partnership and our parenting partnership and how it all works. And it works really well, but compromise, like understanding that, like, at least I know that I'm not always right.
Yeah.
She knows that she's not always right, but us finding that common ground where she can deal with my crazy and, you know, I can deal with, I guess, collectively us moving forward, but I think it's a perfect partnership.
Sounds like that idea, like the textbook idea, actually, of if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It sounds like the two of you I would imagine that you have the thing where you can kickstart into whatever it is right away. And she can either make sure that all of the plane is built as you're flying it.
Yeah. She can take these ideas and put it into a plan and move it forward with dialed in, like, instruction, I guess. I would just go, let's fucking do this and let's fucking do that and let's add fog machines everywhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's, but she's the one who's like, okay, let's look at what we're doing. And you know, what does this do for us in the long run? What does this do for us in the short run?
Mm-hmm.
Is this going to, you know, so, and we have a great management team too. Haley is our, you know, I think, you know, Haley
Mm-hmm.
is like our right hand, does everything HR, code of conduct, our franchise stuff right now, which is a huge thing, and everything in between. And she's a really good boss to the employees,
Mm-hmm.
knows so much about advertising and marketing and websites and making it all work and making sure that our app is running properly and that all the things are advertising congruently for both studios. To have a Haley on your team is fucking priceless. Absolutely priceless.
Yeah.
And then there's a Sadie, who's one of the best yoga instructors, maybe top 5 I've ever known in my life.
Yeah.
And not to say that I know like the best yoga instructor, but I'm saying like, as far as a people person running a team, running our 200-hour training program, doing all of our videography, all of our photography, and then those two working together, and then us working together, like, and then you have George and Bozeman, who's a fucking, like I've told you, a polarizing figure that is, I would say, past Katie and myself, the face of Black Orchid as a whole. I mean, you really couldn't get much better than the 5.
Yeah.
And then you have people like Steve, who I call Buck Nasty, who's in class,
Yeah.
who's our maintenance guy, and someone who can work on every single thing, heating systems, lighting systems, bikes, everything. Works with George on all the stuff in Bozeman. I mean, it takes a fucking army.
Yeah.
It really does. But to then, employ 50, 60 people at the same time, it's a lot.
For sure.
It's a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And luckily we have that team, and we've delegated. Everybody knows their job, knows their role. I still don't know mine, but I just go, and maybe I'm just the pusher.
Right.
Like I just push this brand as far as we can go. And, the idea would be for Kate and I to eventually would be, moving back to Newport Beach, and she didn't live there, but we love going there. Our kids love it there.
Mm-hmm.
It is where sobriety started for me. Like some of the best friends in my life live there. It's the biggest sober community in the nation, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
That I love. And, we love the weather. We love the people. It seemed like everybody there wants to be healthy and wants to live. Not that, there isn't that in every community. There is 75 degrees, 364 days a year. I like to golf.
Uh-huh.
But I just think the idea would be for us to eventually open 50 to 100 Black Orchids around the nation and possibly worldwide, if we get to that. And then really do what we do and follow our kids around and make sure that they're doing what they need to do and in the places they need to be. Like, that's kind of the goal.
That's so cool, man. One of the things that I heard that kind of floored me a little bit, because I tend to be somebody who, when I set out goals and I achieve them, it's hard for me to celebrate them, because I kind of feel the felt experience in the past has been that they were just kind of supposed to happen. Like you set goals less as like a thing to celebrate or a win to have, and more of like, I'm going to be on this road and I should probably have a couple check-ins.
You knew it was going to happen.
Right.
So when you get there, it's not even that cool anymore.
Yeah. Because it's
you know what I'm saying?
Because if it doesn't happen, it's like, well, we've been building all of this shit so that it would.
Yeah.
So the fact that it did happen, look at all the shit. Of course it happened. Look at all the things that we did.
Yeah.
Look at how hard this was.
Yeah.
Of course it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. Like you get like and like I said, even in the music industry, but that was a whole different situation. Like I really do like to celebrate where Black Orchid started and where it is today. Yeah. Which is, we've rebranded fucking 6 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like and I'm a true blue drug addict. I always want bigger, better, faster, stronger. That's there's no stop.
Yeah.
And that can be healthy. It can be unhealthy. I think put in the right place, but yeah, you're right. Like we opened Bozeman. Cool. We were so fucking busy. We haven't even done a grand opening. Still have not done a grand opening in Bozeman. We've been open almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And I just don't care to. Cool. You opened.
Yep.
Like, and it was terrifying there. Terrifying. That was fucking the hardest thing. And I'll say this, my dad says this too. The hardest thing to do in business is to open your first, second location.
Your first, second location.
Right.
Why is that?
Because Bozeman is now, and if anyone listening has been to the Bozeman location, it is the model of what we want Black Orchid. You see Black Orchid Billings. You've never been to the Bozeman one.
Right.
Black Orchid Billings, we grew and grew and grew and grew how we knew how to grow in the spot that we were, right? In Bozeman, all of it is under one roof, right?
Right.
In Billings, we have a goddamn...
So for people who haven't been to the Billings one, different buildings, you got to share a parking lot.
Yeah, we have a compound. It's like a compound in Billings. It's like, and we have a salon randomly too. Like the salon just smacked right in the middle. A really, really nice salon, smacked right in the middle. And that is just Billings. We have childcare in Billings. That won't be in our future our future. And that was purely so Katie and I could bring the kids to work.
Oh, cool.
I mean, because we didn't have childcare.
Yeah.
We didn't have a nanny. We didn't have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't want to have our kids raised by somebody else while we grew. Mm-hmm. And did it probably hinder a lot of our growth? Maybe. Sure. I don't know. But we got to hang with our kids.
Uh-huh.
And that's the idea. That was the ultimate idea. We have 2 yoga studios in Billings in our location, meaning 2 rooms. Mm-hmm. And then across the parking lot, you go to the cycle studio and it's a whole other building.
Yeah.
And, Bozeman is now a compressed version of both of them. Big yoga room, big cycle room. Mm. Front desk here, you go left, cycle, you go right, yoga. Like that's, same vibe, same exact thing.
Yep.
It's just cleaner, built better. And that will be the model going forward for the next locations. The first, second location is the hardest because there's a lot of things that we did that I probably wouldn't do again.
Uh-huh.
It was very expensive. And of course, when we're designing this, I'm all excited. Sure, do that.
Then you get the invoice.
Sure, do that. And then Langless sends you the fucking invoice. And it's like, oh my God.
Right.
We agreed to that. And we have to pay this. You can't be like, no, I don't want to pay that one.
Yep.
No, you have to pay that.
Take that paneling down, boys.
Yeah. Let's maybe not add all the soundproofing in the yoga or the cycle studio. I don't really care what our neighbors think, but I think now it's like from here, I'm like, okay. Cause we built the second one.
Yep.
We built out the first one. I would probably not build from the ground up again.
Okay.
Especially in a market like Bozeman, because oh my God.
Right.
That place is that's a different monster. And anybody that knows, you know what I mean? Like you get, everyone calls it like Bose Angeles. Like mm-hmm. I feel like I hear that all the time. And I'm like, okay, I don't understand your reference because I lived in Los Angeles and it's nothing like that. Like the traffic is not anything like that. I mean, Main Street sucks, but let's get real. But the prices are, the prices of things and the amount of people that are there. And there are, and it's funny because I do all these studies in these different markets and I'm weird like this with like analytics and numbers. What do you think the median household income is for Bozeman? A 5-mile radius of where Black Orchid is, would be like the west side of Gallatin Valley. I'll tell you what Billings is. Okay. It's about 84,000 median household income.
Yeah. Okay.
84,000 a year.
I would guess 140 for Bozeman.
800,000.
$800,000?
800,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And so there is a lot of fucking dough up there. And again, I always say this to be critical to that fact is there are some billionaires that skews
the numbers a little bit.
The number a little bit, but not that you would think that it would a lot more than, but no, there are a lot of very, very wealthy people that live in that Bridger Valley, in that Gallatin Valley area.
Yeah.
A lot of tech companies that moved in there, not tech like Twitter.
Right.
Tech like medicine companies and like medical equipment companies. And, mm-hmm. and I'm talking like, big fucking Fortune 500 type CEOs that live in that area.
Right.
And yeah, we've talked to like Matt Drake was the general contractor from Langless and Bozeman. And he was telling us about some of the jobs he's doing there. And I mean, you can't even look in that area and not see fucking cranes working everywhere, new shit going up, Whole Foods. Like the Lululemon that they just built there, some of those stores in that it's called a pedestrian walkway at Gallatin Crossing.
Yep.
Some of those stores that are going in there, you would only see generally in a city that has a population of 1 million plus.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And Bozeman's still sub 100,000.
I think it's like 65,000 people there.
Wow.
And that's not counting students.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's what, another maybe 20,000 people go to that school, something like that.
Yeah.
So actual residents there is not even close to what Billings is.
Right.
Not even fucking close. Billings is what, 100 plus?
Yep. Yeah, like 100, 120.
And Billings is still growing pretty well.
Yeah.
But
it's growing differently.
The price per square foot in the commercial real estate industry in Bozeman is the most expensive in the nation.
Wow.
Not just, and so of course I'm going, well, if we don't do it, someone else will.
Right.
And of course a month before we open in Bozeman, guess what fucking opens in Bozeman? A cycle bar. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Guess who's closed now?
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
So I'm like, okay, we're doing something. Not to say that was us, and that's never my intention, is for anyone's business to go out of town, especially franchises, because those are locally owned businesses.
For sure.
They're just national chains, right? So I don't ever wish that upon anyone. I would never wish that, because that's tough, man.
For sure.
It would suck, but it was just, I think that we just prepared really well, and we just nailed the advertising and the marketing and our classes and our teachers, and George, again, is just such a huge figure. How can you not?
Right.
Like you've met her.
Yep.
Dude, she's another fucking level of human.
Right.
I've never met someone that works harder than her, that works out harder than her, who is detailed and just, the best human. She's such a good person. She has such a big heart, and everyone fucking loves her.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, well, we're taking it to Disneyland. We're going.
For sure.
We're going.
That's one of the things that as a business owner is something that I get curious about, because I have a team of 7 right now.
Yeah.
And that's, maybe I've had 4 people come in and out, but that's like minuscule compared to the amount of team members that you've hired and that have moved on and blah, blah, blah. And one of the things that I think about is getting A players like that on your team. What does it take to get them, first of all? And then once you got them, how do you make sure that they've got the growth opportunity? And because you can't put a Ferrari on like a quarter-mile circle track and be like, oh, have fun. Yeah. You got to give them room to like breathe and do the damn thing. Yeah. So how did you guys because you had Katie, who's a rock star. You've got like your guys' team early sounds like you had a lot of studs on it. Yeah. So how do you give them room to grow and like give them enough room to help Black Orchid become this thing, and not take a thing that's small and like make A players smaller? Yeah.
I think it's just about working with them as opposed to, and it just sounds so cliche. I'm the type of person that wants to bring everyone with me. I don't want to stand on someone's shoulders and call myself tall. There are people like that, and they do not work for us anymore.
Yeah.
And be straight up, we've dealt with a lot of shit, not only from employee standpoints, but we weren't always right. We've fucked up. You know what I mean? Like we're not perfect.
Yep.
The employee is not always right. I go to bat for my people first. And I think if they feel that the owners and the managers are on their side, they will work better if you pay them well. We've never, ever, ever in our life didn't pay somebody. Mm-hmm. Never, ever in our life didn't treat somebody right. You know what I mean? Like we've had our disagreements with ex-employees, and there's people that really don't like us in Billings. There are. And that's okay. That's fine.
Right. If you're in business long enough, it happens.
Don't give a shit. Right. I really don't. Because I know my integrity is in the right spot. You know what I mean? Like there are people that have opened studios that used to work for us in Billings. Mm-hmm. And rightfully so. I wouldn't expect them not to. Right. You know what I mean? Compete with me. Try. Yeah. Like fucking try.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like and I think that competition is, you have to have it.
Yeah.
If you just, monopoly something, where's the fun in that? Like I lose drive.
For sure.
And if there's competition, I will go out of my way to make sure that I'm better than you in my space. You know what I mean? In my industry.
Right.
And I don't care, but I would never talk shit about them to another person. I would never, you know what I mean? I would never make an argument or do anything like that if they weren't sitting on the other side of the table for me to back themselves up.
Yeah.
I've made it a big point of not being that person, because it's happened to me numerous times.
Right.
Where people are outrun their fucking mouth about some shit that, their side of what they thought happened, versus looking at it from a business owner standpoint, or looking at it from a liability standpoint.
Yeah.
And then and that's, again, this is like my lead into having people like Georgiana, Sadie, Haley on your team. Dude, take care of those fucking people, because they are what makes Black Orchid what it is. And I'm not afraid to say that, like, that I didn't create we named Black Orchid.
Right.
We created the idea, but the wheels on that bus I was not all 4 or 5 wheels of that thing. I was not. Mm-hmm. I'm literally right now, I'm like the front left wheel, and I'm like half full. Right. And those are the other ones are just like going like crazy.
Yeah.
Take care of them. Make sure that they feel like they're taken care of, that they, you know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure they make more than we do, like at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And I'm okay with that, because what we do is create a place for anyone to be able to come. And that is like half of my job.
Right.
Half of what like fulfills me is to see people out in that crowd smiling fucking ear to ear, going online, taking pictures, tagging us, doing all, you know what I mean? Like that's what makes me happy. Mm-hmm. Obviously I got to pay my bills, right? But at the end of the day, that is my advice for anyone, is that you have to have help.
Yeah.
Especially in an industry that we're in, because it's cutthroat, dog, like fucking cutthroat. And people are coming up with crazy shit. And you have to be able to pivot on a dime.
Right.
Your brand, what you're doing, your trainings, your software, your app, every system you have to be able to upgrade constantly, pivot. Things change. And people that just sit and like do the same thing, and they're like, well, this is the old way to do it. No, you can't live there.
Yeah.
You can't think that you're the end all. Like I didn't create yoga. I didn't create cycle.
Right.
We didn't reinvent the wheel. We just made it a more fun place to do it.
For sure. Yeah. How do you think about taking something where you and Katie have been essentially being able to be in the business every day if you want to, right?
Yeah.
Like you got, what I love about the business is that your guys' energy radiates to the people who are on your team and the vibe of walking in, whether you're there or not.
Yeah.
Which is sick.
Yeah.
Obviously having Bozeman, where it's a 2-hour drive, but like you can't be there every day.
Yeah. How
do you think about, or what crosses your mind as you think about going and doing franchising and having 50 to 100 locations or being worldwide? What are the things that cross your mind as far as keeping the integrity of what you've created and having, your inspiration as a performer carry over to 100 locations and Katie's organization? How do you think about all that?
Well, it's overwhelming, to say the least. But we have an amazing attorney that's helping us with all of this. And so I told you, Haley's job is like the code of conduct, employee handbooks.
Yep.
Our operation system. And that's what we're creating right now. And this has been like the most grueling fucking thing. And again, someone with ADHD, this is like nails on a chalkboard, because it's like the documents and shit that I have to look over and, and again, thank God for Haley, because this is her world.
Yeah.
And this is, every person that we hire has to sign a code of conduct, an employee handbook, and understand that there are certain things that we expect from our people.
Yep.
That they should also expect from us as owners and managers and everything. And they should be able to be themselves to a certain degree, you know, and again, we're in a game of a lot of social media is involved. And so unfortunately, if you have a @BlackOrchid tag on your social media, you are held to a different standard. Means I don't want to see a bunch of political shit. Keep that on your personal page. I don't care. We don't do any of it. None of it. In the landscape right now, nothing. I don't talk about it. Nope.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's a big part of it. I think that trying to navigate all of that stuff is so overwhelming. Thank God again that Katie and Haley and we have that team that's working, and we're so close to being done with this. And then we're going to start advertising to different territories. But all of these handbooks and everything that we're giving these people that are interested in opening a Black Orchid, I mean, it's down to the paint color on the walls.
Wow.
Down to the training manuals, which is our proprietary information that we own. Cycle training, shape training, YTT, 200-hour, certified with Yoga Alliance, core training, and tone training. So these are 5 trainings that we own, that we have built. Sadie has been a huge, huge part of that too.
Yep.
In putting all of those programs together. Being able to train your people properly. Because could you imagine someone not being trained properly teaching that fucking cycle class?
Right.
Having that burden on them to be in 85, 90 degrees, cycling, pitch black, crazy fucking lights. Like
with 30 people looking at you being like,
what am I doing?
Right.
No, our training programs are hardcore. I would put them up against any training program in the nation. As far as, I mean, I don't know how many teachers we've, created at Black Orchid, probably hundreds at this point.
Yeah.
But I think that those are all the things that you want to give to someone who's going to open a Black Orchid, where there's almost no room for error.
Right.
You have everything you need. You'll get our group of 5 for 2 weeks to start this, a studio in your town. We'll help you pick the spot. We'll help you, we have the architecture, we have the build, we know everything. We know how to do all of it.
Yeah.
And it's just about you know what I mean? It's a lot of shit. This is probably 100+ pages in this document. Like, it is crazy, ironclad shit. Like, it's nuts.
Yeah.
And, we didn't do it really because we wanted, I mean, Kate and I were like, oh, we're just going to open the next one and the next one and the next one. Right. And then we got interest from people. Hey, how could I open a Black Orchid? Actually, the first time this happened is someone came from, I can't remember where they came. They were in town from somewhere, and they were like, oh, are you guys the owners? And we're like, yeah. And they're like, oh, did you franchise this? And I'm like, no, we started it. And they're like, seriously? And I'm like, yeah, like we're, and I think it was in Bozeman when they asked. And they're like, oh, I would love some information on how to possibly open it. And so it was really more so people asking about.
Yeah.
And so now, of course, my brain's like, wait, so we can do this like all these other fitness places. But then you're right, keeping the integrity of what we do, keeping the integrity of the vibe of why we do it, making sure that it's run properly. And so the vetting of the I'm interested to signing on the dotted line is like 1,000 miles.
I bet.
You know what I mean? Because can somebody financially be able to do this?
Yeah.
And so, but we're making people their own business owners and giving them the fucking handbook to do it.
Right.
And they have, all of the trainings, all the proprietary information to be able to do it. The mentorship. Georgiana will eventually move into like a regional position where she'll just travel around and make sure that every studio is doing what it needs to be doing.
Yep.
Offering help, doing trainings. Like, that's initially her job.
Yep.
But that's kind of the forecast for the next 2 years.
That's so cool, man. When we kind of touched on it earlier about that whole, like, there are things that we said before that would make us happy now. It happened with the music thing. It happened with the business thing. Where are you at now? Because obviously there's a lot of exciting stuff that's like you're kind of in the starting blocks where it's about to, go do the dang thing. What are the things that exist now or have happened now that you and Katie, when you were first starting, were looking at being like, oh man, these are going to be huge wins? What are some of the ones that have happened along the way that looking back, it's like, oh man, like that one's worth celebrating?
I would honestly, her and my relationship through all of this, I think the coolest thing is when we first were starting this, she was a hairdresser. I was in music, right? Yep. We were like, fuck all those things. Let's do this. Something we've never done. We love business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we love that portion of it. And I think we're, maybe maturely ready to do or take on something like that. We had no fucking idea.
Yeah.
The biggest win I think was, both of our parents saying we were fucking crazy for wanting to do a hot yoga studio, right?
Right. Yeah.
They're like, "Why? This is going to fail horribly in Montana." And I'm like, "No. We've seen what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And we see trends. You look in bigger cities, Los Angeles, New York, Seattle, Portland, whatever. These fucking things are everywhere. When we started the yoga industry alone, and I hate to, put numbers on this, but it was a $30 billion industry. This was in 2015.
Okay.
It's a $60 billion industry today. Hot yoga. Like the yoga industry as a whole.
Right.
Meaning yoga studios, trainings, retreats, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
Workshops, shit like that. All of it. It's not stopping. Yoga's been around since the fucking 1800s. Like,
yeah,
since before that.
For sure. Yeah.
It was a religion. Like, you know what I mean? This is, I feel like if everyone did this, they could probably get off of a antidepressant. You know what I mean? They could really do some mental work. They could really take care of a lot of like ailment, not only physical pain, mental pain, trauma. There's so many things.
It's not like you guys were jumping on a cute trend. It's like, the foundation's
dude,
there.
it was huge. And then all of a sudden the cycle thing, because originally it was supposed to be Yoga Cycle Bar. Like that was the original thing.
Interesting.
And we found the space, and that was, thank God we started the way we did.
Right. Yeah.
But you just start to look at like niche studio, and I just can't even believe gyms are, and I still think that working out, moving your body, gym, no gym, whatever, our studio, fucking any other studio, move your body, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's real simple. You will be a better person for it. It's always like when someone wants to make a life change, where's the first thing they change? Like if someone's miserable,
yeah,
or if someone has depression, or someone is going through a divorce, or someone is going through traumatic shit, or had an injury, or anything like that, the first thing they do is change some sort of movement plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Working out, physical therapy, it all starts with your body. And from there, all of a sudden, stress is depleted. Injury is depleted. Discomfort depleted. Anxiety, fucking so many things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it's so funny because I can be so like brash about, I'll be like on 24th Street and I'll see a line down fucking like in McDonald's drive through.
Yeah. And
I'm like, think if there was a line down the street to get into fitness places.
Right.
Like, where did we go wrong? Not that I don't think my kids love McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck McDonald's. If you don't like McDonald's fries, I mean, I don't eat them. I rarely eat carbs anymore or sugar. But McDonald's fries are bomb.
Right.
Like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
The smell. Like, we'll try, and I'm like, so I get that, and you have to have food to live and to work, to whatever. But I'm like, man, where would we be if that was like if it was flipped?
Mm-hmm.
where there was line down the street to get into the gym or get into Black Orchid, which, anymore there is a line to get into Black Orchid. Like, it's cool.
For sure.
There's some fucking gigantic ass classes all day long. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But if that mindset was like changed, like where that, where would that start? Advertising, probably.
Big ass national campaigns.
Big ad
with no ability to track.
And people don't understand that, like, subliminal seeing that everywhere.
Right.
And that's kind of how it was Black Orchid. I was like, dude, I don't care where we advertise. I want it fucking everywhere.
Well, that's kind of the thing that you were saying about Newport Beach too, though, is like, I would imagine that subliminally the things that you see in your subconscious all the time, it's a percentage of it is just different than what you see in other places.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, like what makes a vibe of something. Yeah. It's probably a million micro interactions or noticing things or whatever that culminate into this feeling of a place. Yeah. Right. And I think that what you say about having, like, it's clear that somebody with ADHD designed this place. Yeah. It's like, because how much those million different micro interactions and like things that you notice without noticing them, how much those matter.
Like, I just love seeing people's faces, new people. There's nothing better than this. Like when someone new comes into a cycle class and it goes pitch black. And you see them like, what the fuck is going on? Did the power go out? And all of a sudden the song, and then you see your people, woo, doing their thing. Uh-huh. And then there's this song going on. And you see little heads just bouncing up and down. And then you feel that like just badass, like, whatever, and then all of a sudden the lights go off and it's just like massive, you know what I mean? Yeah. Movement, and you're like, what the fuck? It's like the coolest fucking thing ever. Yeah. It's like crazy. Yeah. So, yeah.
So did you and Katie ever get a moment where the parents came back to it and said like, damn, you guys were right. You did it.
Yeah. Yes.
What did that feel like?
Dude, that was awesome. It was awesome. Like it was amazing to, like, my dad, I think, was probably, cause he did really well in business, and, I always looked up to him as a business like, you know what I mean? Like he was what he created and what he built, and he's electrical engineer, and he would do like substations and whatever. I just always remember as a kid, he was always gone. He wasn't around much when I was a kid, but, I just always remember everyone saying how great of a business person he was. And I always, I'd be like, okay. But then for him to be like, I just remember it was one day I think he'd retired, and he would start to show up to Black Orchid like every day just to like hang out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's like, what are you up to? And I'm like, what the fuck do you think? I'm up to, like, working. You know what I mean? And we would just sit and just start talking. And he's like, because he would start to hear it from other people. Oh, your son's place, I go to Black Orchid all the time, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden it's like wildfire through everywhere. Mm-hmm. Where if you haven't heard about Black Orchid, you live under a rock, whether if it be word of mouth, our social media platform is gigantic right now, or just, in general. Like, I think that we've done a damn good job of promoting and creating the brand that we are now, which, to have him come in and say, like, I'm really impressed with what you guys have done here numerous times. And he says it a lot now. Mm-hmm. He's like, what you guys have done here is just, crazy. And then you open up Bozeman, and he goes up and sees that one. And it was kind of cool, full circle. Like, one of his best friends lives in Bozeman, Tim Matzinger. And we hired Matzinger Electric to do the electrical work in our building up there. Yeah. It was just super cool to, like, and then my dad come up and they can't come through the thing. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just cool to be able to hire someone that he'd worked with his whole life. Yeah. And I think it was his college roommate too. And they do huge fucking jobs in Bozeman. Mm-hmm. It was just kind of cool, to be able to do that. And now he's, so he just stops by all the time now. But yeah, I think that was probably an awesome moment for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was maybe one of those moments that, when you knew that your parents, like, approved of something you finally did. 'Cause for so long they loved, been to numerous concerts of mine. And my mom always loved, she was always out, when she could make it to, I think she was at one of our shows in Denver, a show in Vegas, and they loved that. You know what I mean? Like, that was so cool for them. But I think this here, because we've put so much heart and soul into everything that we do, almost to a fault. It's nice to see, you know, that payoff with really the people you want to impress the most.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like the person I want to impress the most is my wife. Like I still to this day, you know what I mean? I show off and, you know, I think same with her, but like, yeah, I think that's what it's really all about in the end, is to like the people that you love the most that really approve of everything that you do. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Anybody else don't matter. I mean, I want my kids to think I'm the coolest person on the earth, but they think I'm old and fucking dumb because I'll be like 6, 7. You know what I mean? Like, have you heard all this shit? Like, some of the shit they do, like
TikTok kids.
Because I just fucking, they are like brain rot Italian shit that they talk. I'm like, you guys, and so I do it, and they're like, Dad, really? And I'm like, dude, I think I'm a pretty cool parent,
right?
You know, but apparently I'm just like every other annoying ass parent. So
we're shooting above average here, kids. Well, I know you got to roll, man. I appreciate the heck out of you doing this. You built one of the coolest things. And I think as a business owner, it's really cool being able to see what you've done, but also people have built a million successful businesses and having people behind it where you can show up to the thing and feel that part. It's special, dude. And I can't wait to see what you guys build with the rest of it. And I hope that if nothing else, that's what carries over, because getting a chance to sit with you and your team and just like be around you guys is, you guys have a lot of special sauce there. So I can't wait to see what it turns into, man.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy.
All righty. Heck yeah, man. Well, until the next one, be your feet are, everybody. We love you.